Are you an international student that plans on coming to the UK to study a certain degree, or do you want to know how it is for international students to study in the UK? Then I'll suggest that you watch this video, as it will show you some of the key things you should know or the process of coming to the UK as an international student. So please stay tuned for more. Hey yo, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The International Medic. So let's go straight into the video. If you're considering applying abroad to study any degree out there, one of the major places that people would actually plan on going to will be the UK. And this is mainly because of the world-renowned universities such as Oxford, Cambridge. You know all of them because they're just very popular. So yeah, people would want to consider coming to the UK to study. But one thing you should consider is that because it is a good place to study, doesn't mean that it is a good place for international students to study. So you have to ask yourself that question: as an international student, will it be a good place to study for me? Well, according to some websites out there, the UK is part of the top 10 places for international students to study. So I think yes, the UK will actually be a good place for you to study as long as you can afford it. That's the main thing. The money is actually an issue, but we'll get into that later on. The UK government has recently tried to be more supportive of their international students. For instance, because right now they have introduced a 2-year graduate visa, which would allow you as an international student to stay 2 extra years in the country to find a certain full-time job or any job, or hopefully change from a graduate visa to a working visa and stay in the UK for a longer period of time, which means that they're trying to value your skills and expertise as an international student or what you've learned from the country. So yeah, that's their way of supporting you. And if you want to know more about this, please contact me on my TikTok or Instagram page for this YouTube channel. The link will be in the descriptions below. So once you know that you want to study in the UK, the next step you have to take is that you need to know how to apply to the UK to study that degree you want to study. So the key term for anybody that plans to study in the UK, whether you plan on studying a postgraduate degree, undergraduate degree, or maybe if you're an international student or home student, everybody needs to know what the UCAS is. And the UCAS stands for Universities and College Admission Services. So you need to know all of that. So I'll tell you all about that. Let's go into the video. And also, it doesn't matter if you apply to a university directly. Eventually, the university is going to put your application into UCAS, because everybody needs to go through UCAS to study any degree in the UK. So if you want to know the steps and processes I took applying through UCAS to get into medicine or any degree for that matter, or you want to know the competition for places between international students and home students, please click on my video that I've done before, which will go into detail about that. And also you can click on the pop-up link that comes, that should take you to the video. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm interrupting your scheduled video just to ask you to please like, share or subscribe to my YouTube channel, because any one of these will actually help my channel and spread it out to people that would also benefit from it. So in fact, you don't even need to watch my content all the time. Just like anything you do, any one of those 3 options would help me spread my account to people that also need it as well. So if you can do that, I would really appreciate that. So thank you, and let's get back into the video. So let's say you've applied through UCAS, yeah? You've done your university interviews and you were successful. You got an offer, so you go out for drinks to celebrate your newfound success with your friends and family. Well, I'll say enjoy that party as much as you can, because your journey isn't over yet as an international student. You also have the other stressful bits to go through, which is the visa application and also meeting your entry requirements for your degree. Once you receive an offer letter from your university, you should try your best to turn your offer from a conditional offer to an unconditional offer. In some universities, you can only make your offer an unconditional offer if you have received your CAS number. What is CAS number, you might ask? Well, I'll get into that later. Firstly, how do you change your offer from a conditional offer to an unconditional offer? You have to meet all the entry requirements for your degree. The entry requirements include the grades you need to get into that university. Like for instance, 3 A stars, a 2-1, etc. It all depends on the kind of exams you wrote or the kind of entry requirements you told the university that you would provide in order to get into their university to study that certain course. For some of you out there, you might be thinking, I already speak English fluently. I come from an English speaking country. Well, I'm Nigerian, so basically, if you check Google, our official language is English, but that's still not going to be enough. We're even colonized by the English, but still, that doesn't really matter because the universities would like to know if your English speaking level is at a point where you can fully understand and speak and study a degree in the UK. So that's why those exams are necessary. It doesn't fully matter if you come from an English speaking country, from my experience at least. The English exams most people write will be called the IELTS, and in some universities they have their own specific English exam that you might need to write in order for you to that you can write as an alternative in order to get into the university. For instance, Brunel, they have a certain English qualification that if you write their own exam and you pass, you get straight into the university for that English exam. So that's another option I should look at, and it might also be slightly better because it is their own standardized English exam. In some degrees, you also have to meet some course specific requirements. For instance, medicine. In my degree in medicine, when I apply, I'm going to have to prove that I have done some certain vaccinations or I'm immune to some certain diseases out there. And this makes perfect sense because I'm going to be in a situation where I'll be seeing a lot of sick patients. Unfortunately, I'm going to be seeing a lot of sick patients and I'm going to be learning on how to treat them. But that's just an example. That's for medicine. And in some other universities, you won't need to do this. For instance, when I did biomedical sciences here, I didn't need to prove my vaccination status. So it all varies depending on your certain degree. And also, but one thing I think is similar regardless of whichever university you go to or whichever degree you're doing is that you need to provide a security check. This is mainly just to confirm that you do not have any criminal background, and also just to make sure that you are who you say you are. So you need to verify that. That's just one of the things you're going to meet as an international student when you come to the UK. So hopefully that helps. Once you meet all those requirements, the next thing you would have to focus on will be the financial aspect of your application. And what I mean by that is that you need to know the amount of money you need to pay for your actual visa, your Tier 4 student visa, and you also need to know how much you pay for your NHS surcharge fee. One of the things that the UK is popularly known for is their free healthcare, which is governed by the NHS. So the first thing you need to sort out when it comes to money as an international student when coming to the UK is that you need to understand what kind of status you have. Do you have an overseas student status or do you have a home student status? So an overseas student status, as you probably guessed, is that will be assigned to international students that are not citizens of the UK or have not lived long enough in the UK to be classified as a home student. So as an overseas student, your tuition fees are going to be different. The first thing you need to understand when you have the overseas student status is that you need to be able to provide a CAS statement. And what is CAS, you may ask? CAS is the confirmation of acceptance of studies. It is a number that comes in that allows you to apply for your Tier 4 visa. So it is very, very important. Now, there are some requirements for you to get a CAS, and it may vary from university to university or from degree to degree, but ideally it's basically the same. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have enough money to pay your remaining first year tuition fees and living costs among the first year of your course. Secondly, the money required for living costs is a prescribed figure of around 1,334 per month. So this is like your accommodation. This is money for your accommodation, for your living expenses, food, and all of that. This is required for up to the first 9 months of the course, which will be a total figure of around 12,000. So this will vary depending on the university you go to or the course you are doing. So please check up with the CAS from your desired university, as they will help you and give you a more detailed number. The required funds must have been held in your account for a minimum of 28 consecutive days. Bank statements can only be held in your name or that of a parent or legal guardian. You cannot use financial documents held by other family members or friends. Those are the main requirements you need in order for you to get access to your CAS. So I'll suggest that you have this in mind when you're applying. Also, have in mind that you don't have to pay that money to the university. You have to pay your tuition fee. So let's say, for instance, you go onto your university website and they say your tuition fee for a certain degree is 18,000 for the first month. You don't need to pay that 18,000 when you're trying to get your CAS number. You don't have to pay that 18,000 upfront. You just need to have that 18,000 in a certain bank account for 28 consecutive days. So that way you can prove to the university that, hey, I have your money here for you when you need it. And this is just to show you that, hey, I can pay my tuition fee, so you don't need to worry about me not being able to afford it for at least my first year. So that's basically the kind of concept or idea behind it. As you can tell, that's a lot of money involved. But wait a minute, that's not everything, because next up you need to talk about the amount of money you will spend on your visa application, your actual tier 4 visa, and also your NHS surcharge fee. How much you pay for your visa application, your tier 4 visa application, is going to be based on whether you're applying from inside the UK or outside the UK. If you're applying from outside the UK, the earliest you can apply for a visa is 6 months before our start date, before you start in September or whenever you start. And it will cost about £363. If you're applying from the UK, the earliest you can apply for a visa will be about 3 months, and that will cost about £490. The next thing you have to pay for will be your NHS surcharge fee. The amount you pay will be based on how long you stay in the UK and your type of visa, amongst other factors. There's an NHS surcharge calculator, so please check the link below in the description to see how much it might cost for you. With a tier 4 visa as an international student, you will have a lot of limitations. For instance, if you want to do a part-time job in the UK, you'll only be able to work for 20 hours per week, which isn't a lot but will be enough for some pocket money. But you can work for unlimited hours during the holidays. So the 20 hours limitation per week is during term time, when you're actually studying during that September period or so. But when you go on holiday, you can work for as long as you want and earn as much money as you want. As an international student, you won't have access to public funds or benefits. So ideally, the main condition for you to stay in the UK on a student visa is that you study. You are meant to study. Anything that hugely deviates from studying as an international student will put you at risk of getting deported. Please, if you have any other further questions, please feel free to contact me.